5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Please welcome.
Welcome to the gayest podcast ever.
Hello, and welcome to the gayest podcast ever. Thanks for tuning in. My name is Josh, and I'm here with
Eric
and CJ.
Thanks for tuning in, guys and gals. And today we thought I would start off with something like, what is the craziest or your favorite thing that you've heard in pop culture since our last episode? Eric, why don't you go ahead and kick us off?
Well, I don't know about my favorite thing, but I was reading today, Kristen Stewart kind of released an article about when her and Robert Pattinson were dating, and kind of when they broke up after the affair with the one director, and then they reconciled and broke up again. But a lot of directors and producers in Hollywood were telling her that she couldn't be her authentic self if she wanted to continue in the business. Like walking out and holding your hand with a girl in public is just not something you can do if you want to further your career.
Hollywood executives told her
exactly.
this.
Like your fans don't want to see that, et cetera, et cetera. And I was just thinking about how that plays into us, being as
That
gay.
makes absolutely no sense whatsoever.
Especially in this day and age, but that's how it was treated. And I wonder how many other celebrities are still in the closet because of, producers and their talent agencies and expressing things like that, and how brave it is for the actors, who have publicly come out.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I think these execs are high on something when they're saying this, because look around, everybody now is living their best life. Everyone's
Gay is
gay,
the new
everybody,
trending
whatever.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you think someone like, Miley Cyrus is, kind of expressing her same-sex feelings for another person.
Miley's brought up a lot on this podcast.
Yeah,
We love you, Miley.
Gayest podcast ever. But no, absolutely. And Kristen Stewart, I think, needs to just live her most authentic life, and that's where really good things are going to come with her. And I think, who's the girl? Ellen Page?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
She was another one, I think, that was told, don't, keep it on the down low.
But she's got the great show Umbrella Company now, so she's doing a lot of charity work, a lot of activism. So
Yeah, and she was just on one of our favorite summer shows on Netflix.
Tales of the City.
Tales of the
Yes.
City, yes. If you've not watched it, go watch Tales of the City.
the original and the new.
I was
one.
going to say, they put the original on Netflix now. So you can go back and watch the 1993 version, which was so good, and then as well as the new one. Okay, CJ, what have you been fancying?
It's this whole Popeyes chicken sandwich thing. I can't believe that it's a big thing, and everyone's comparing it to Chick-fil-A, which I don't eat Chick-fil-A, one, because it's not in Michigan, but two, because obviously the
hate the
funding
gays.
that they do to anti-gay organizations and stuff. But I love that now Popeyes is just selling out of these chicken sandwiches. People are getting angry over it.
Well, and let's be honest, the memes are just everything. And I think, one of my favorite ones I just saw today was the Bring It On girls. It was Kristen Dunst, and there said Chick-fil-A.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was Gabrielle Union and her girls, and it was
Popeyes.
Yeah. And I was like, yes, I love
I
the
saw
internet.
that the other day. It was hilarious.
The internet can be your best friend or your worst enemy, and it's. I think it's helping fuel. Popeye and Chick-fil-A can't buy this type of publicity.
Right,
They
not
can't.
at all.
But if they ain't talking about you, then you don't matter no more.
Exactly.
Well, and it's super funny as I saw Twitter of I think Arby's said, we have chicken sandwiches too. And I'm sure the response was a fake account, but it was Wendy's. It was no one fucking cares.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, now the other chains are getting involved. I love this.
Have either of you had the Popeyes, though?
I think I've had Popeyes once.
No, the new chicken sandwich.
Oh, no.
You're not the lucky one.
There's a Popeyes at the corner of where I live. My apartment, the next intersection, there's a Popeyes
they
there.
have fast food out in the cornfield?
Apparently where I live, they want some Popeyes. But yeah, so I have not tried it yet. But there was the
Same.
one day I got really angry. I was like, is there construction? Was there an accident? Why can't I get to my complex? No, it was the line for fucking Popeyes.
There was an article today about a guy who held up a gun in a Popeyes because someone sold the last chicken sandwich. Come on, people. It's just chicken. It's just chicken.
Yeah. Come back tomorrow. Well, and my favorite thing that has happened in the last couple, I think it was right before Labor Day weekend, is the U.S. Open is happening.
Yes.
Tennis, love it. And Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova.
Oh, I saw this shade.
Oh, it's so good. Just quick background. Serena Williams and Maria Sharapova both play tennis. They're both very, great tennis players. But Serena Williams has beaten Maria Sharapova since 2004.
Yeah, it's
Maria's
17
not.
times,
Yeah,
Yeah, consecutively.
yeah, exactly. So for the last over a decade, Serena has bested her. But Maria Sharapova released like a memoir a couple years ago, and in it she came for Serena real hard and said that
You don't come
she
for Serena.
no, and she like was talking about her body and how she was really imposing and intimidating because I'm a skinny girl. And she didn't call her fat or thick, but like
she said she had big legs, she had big arms,
she said she was super tall, and
she's shorter.
She's shorter than her, which I was like,
but if you open the library door, you better expect me to walk through it because I'm going to
100%.
start reading you 100%.
And my favorite is Serena didn't even come for her. So we're at the U.S. Open, and Maria Sharapova. Then it was found out was using drugs, using enhancing drugs for her performance. And so the tennis people said you cannot play for like 2 or 3 years. And so this U.S. Open, she was finally allowed to play again, and her and Serena got matched up. And Serena Williams' husband, God bless him, he's like a techie. He's
really cute too.
He's like the founder of like Reddit or something. He shows up and he's wearing like this cute black jacket and he's cheering on his wife and he's loving life. And then the second round starts and he takes off the jacket and he's wearing a Dare shirt. And I'm just like, of all like couple goals, A, and B, like I want to be that petty. Like just it's not saying anything. It's just like, you did drugs.
Right.
And my wife is better
it
than
stands for drugs are really expensive.
This is true.
Yeah, but I just loved it so much. I love that, he supported her in like the most epic
It was
way
all
possible.
good shade and good fun. You started it. Like,
Yes, exactly. So yeah, those are kind of our favorite pop culture moments of the last week or so. And now I think we're just going to kind of jump into our topics. And so what we're going to do, my first topic is one of my favorite shows of all time. It goes back to 1985, I believe is when it first aired. But we're talking about the ladies before Sex in the City, before you were a Carrie or a Samantha. Were you a Blanche? Were you a Rose? We're talking about the Golden Girls.
I don't know. I like to read, so I think I'm a Dorothy.
A little bit of everyone.
Yeah.
I completely agree. I love Dorothy. I was going to touch on the first part. So the Golden Girls started airing in 1985, and it ran, oh my gosh, seven seasons to 1992. And it showed B. Arthur, who played Dorothy Spornak. Mm-hmm. Betty White played Rose Nyland. Rue McClanahan, who played Blanche Devereaux. And Estelle Getty, who played Sophia Petrillo.
Who was the youngest of all of them?
All of them.
So that's the very first thing on my list. That's a lie.
Is it?
What?
I don't know who started spreading this rumor, but I try and correct it every time I can.
God.
That is a lie. Estelle Getty was 1 year younger than B. Arthur, who played her daughter. Rue McClanahan was the youngest Golden Girl.
Wow.
Well, isn't Betty White, didn't she just turn
97.
90, okay, it was like...
Yes.
Another rumor. 127 years
Another
old.
rumor.
So Estelle Getty was not, she was the third youngest. So it goes Dorothy or B. Arthur, Rose, Betty White, Estelle Getty, and then Rue. Rue was the youngest. But I was really thinking, I was like, man, why did we think Betty White was going to die? Because they all died sequentially.
Yeah.
Like,
Right next to each other.
Estelle died in July of 2008. Then B died in April of 2009. Then Rue died in June of 2010. And everyone's like, 2011, keep Betty White safe. You can't let her go. And
she's made 10 movies since then.
Oh, Betty White's living her
And
best
TV
life.
shows.
Yeah.
Oh, everyone wants Betty White.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a piece of
isn't
Betty White.
2011 when that Hot in Cleveland show was on?
Yeah.
I feel like that's the time it was on.
Well, and what's so crazy is some of my other favorite things. And I think really, and I was really trying to figure out why are the Golden Girls so etched in gay culture as well? Well, because it was 1985 and they were talking about gay marriage.
Yes.
They were talking about AIDS. They were talking about, they called it cross-dressing, which I get we don't really use that term now. But they were essentially talking about people who were transgender. And they were talking about essentially people who are sexual and not married. And just it's okay to have sex and, have that one night stand.
That Blanche gif is one of my favorite gifs where she sprays herself with waters. I love that she
Oh,
was
yeah.
such
What
a-
did she say? Cool. Oh, no. What is it?
I don't remember the
I don't
episode.
know what she says,
but
but
I
you're
love
right.
the
She just
gif.
sprays herself down.
She's got that little spray
Yeah.
bottle everyone had in the 80s to
I'm
wet their
thinking
hair.
of eat trash and die or whatever she says like the one time to.
But so was the Golden Girls a spinoff, or were there spinoffs from the Golden Girls?
There were spinoffs from the Golden Girls.
Falcon Crest, wasn't it? What's the one? Empty Nest or something?
Empty
Empty
Nest.
Nest was
Empty Nest.
one.
They were the neighbors. Yeah, of them.
and then Golden Palace.
Okay.
Okay.
Which didn't make it.
no, it
Because
didn't.
Dorothy married Leslie Nielsen on the finale, and that's how the show ended, right?
Exactly. After 7 seasons, technically, I read that B. Arthur's contract was up in like 6, and she said, "You get one more year out of me, but we're wrapping this shit up."
Ooh.
And they even I found this out today actually when I was doing my digging. They brought in, oh my gosh, I'm blanking on her name. Who is Carrie Fisher's mother? Debbie Reynolds.
Debbie Reynolds, yeah.
yes.
All right. They brought in Debbie Reynolds as in a pilot not a pilot episode, but like a backdoor episode to see how she worked with the group to see if they wanted to replace her with like. So if like they're like if
Really?
B. Arthur left, can we split Debbie Reynolds in here? And they were like, no, the chemistry between the 4 women is just so great, we can't do it.
Yeah, that'd be like replacing like Monica or Rachel on Friends
Right.
with somebody. Like, it's not gonna work.
And I think that's why these 4 power women were just so awesome. And it's one of only 3 shows in Emmy history where every single actor, like the principals, all got an Emmy award.
Nice.
It's it's of 3. The other one's All in the Family, and then the other one's Will and Grace.
Very nice.
All 4.
So you know what I like most about the Golden Girls is
The theme song?
Well, that. Thank you for being a friend. That should be our new
Right. I
theme
think
song.
we'd have to trademark
But
it.
yeah, I never watched the Golden Girls from episode 1 to the last episode in chronological order. It's on like 3 different channels at night, and I watch them, and it's so entertaining. I could care less what the backstory
What's
is,
sporadic,
what
yeah.
happened yesterday, but they're all standalone episodes, and that's what I think made it such a success.
Yeah, because, I mean, you're right. I was 7 years old when the final episode aired. So by the time I came around, I'm watching it on Lifetime.
Yeah.
I'm watching those.
I watched it on Nick at Night.
Nick
Yeah.
at Night.
And
Now it's
same.
on Logo.
Yeah,
I mean,
same. All the episodes were sporadic. You never had to know the storyline. Like, it just kind of like picked up, and you could
Those-
just watch it.
Those one-off episodes, and they were so good, but they also like really just like pushed the envelope, and I think they were also just all really respected because they had all been in the industry for
Right.
so long. B. Arthur was Maude, and she had won her Emmy before that.
Didn't
Betty White.
didn't Betty White and Rue McClanahan, didn't they do a show before Golden Girls were
So
there?
they were both in. Well, Betty White was Mary Tyler Moore, but I know both Rue McClanahan and B. Arthur both did stints in All in the Family.
Family with Vicky.
Because that's where Maude. Yeah,
Okay, I
Maude
was
was
like-
a spinoff from All in the Family.
I feel like they did something
and
else
then
together.
Rue was on there's like a neighbor or something. I think they were in a swinging episode. I
And
was
they
like,
were definitely very, like, with Rue McClanahan's character, like, open with her sexuality and, like, kind of made her a slut. And, like,
In
for
the-
the 80s, that
Samantha
was
Jones of
huge.
the
She was
80s.
the Samantha Jones of the 80s.
And you know what else Rue did that I loved? She wrote into her contract that she got to keep all the clothes she ever
Nice.
wore.
That's amazing.
Well, the
good for you.
fashions in that show were one thing. Obviously, it's not anything today, although they could probably easily come back. But they were just over the top, very flowy. Curtain comes to mind.
First of all, they
Drapes.
were all, I mean, come on, in Miami at that point, like, there was no way that you were wearing that much clothes. Right.
You're right. They did have
Get
a lot
the
of
hell
clothes
out of
from
here
Miami.
in Miami. You are not wearing that.
They were women of a certain age,
Yeah.
so maybe
Who the
know.
hell's wearing shoulder pads in Miami in, like, the middle of summertime?
Well, not right now. Hurricane Doran.
But the other thing that I think that resonates so well with the gay community is both actresses, at least actually all 3. I couldn't find a lot about Estelle Getty, but Betty White, Rue McClanahan, and B. Arthur all were super supportive of like LGBT rights back in the 80s and the 90s, and were very much like gay marriage should totally be a thing. Betty White was a good friend of Liberace.
Yes.
And
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like, I know, I accompanied him, I knew all that. B. Arthur, when she died, left like $300,000 to a homeless LGBTQ center in New York City. Rue McClanahan was like campaigning for Barack Obama, was like, gay marriage should totally be a thing.
Rue McClanahan was also in Sordid Lives, the TV show, not the movie. She didn't play that, but in the TV show, they sort of flashback before the movie, and she played, a character in that. And Sordid Lives is huge gay. I mean, the whole thing is about gay marriage.
Can I ask you a trivia question?
No, I'm
So
game.
you mentioned Samantha Jones and Estelle Getty. So can you name the movie that they were both in together? There was a very significant like LGBTQ character in it.
Ooh, I don't know. Only movie.
Andrew McCarthy was in it. Mannequin? Nothing. Nobody?
Mannequin.
Estelle Getty's a mannequin?
Yeah, she was like the store owner.
Oh, the
like,
store
yeah.
owner.
Oh my gosh,
They were
I
in
need
it
to
together.
rewatch that. I know that. Yeah.
Only thing I could
Just a
think
little
of
fun
was
fact trivia.
only thing movie I thought of was Don't Stop or My Mom Will Shoot or what.
Oh, I went to Porky's. I was thinking, it's the 80s. I know, what's her real name? Kim Cattrall?
Kim Cattrall.
I was like, I know she was in Porky's. So I was like, that's where mine was like, it was, going to be another kind of movie like that. But yeah. So yeah, just all the issues they tackled. And like one of my favorite quotes I found, like Sophia, little tiny Estelle Getty, looking at Blanche when her brother wanted to get married. And they were literally talking about gay marriage. And,
Right.
it was 1991. And Sophia looked at Blanche and said, everyone wants someone to grow old with. And shouldn't he have that chance?
Right.
Oh, tear.
I'm like, I love it.
And who was the one who I guess now would be considered trans? Was that the same character, or was that
No,
That
that
was-
was Dorothy's,
Dorothy's
brother.
Dorothy's brother,
So
yeah.
Sophia's son.
And
Yeah.
then it was Blanche's daughter that did like the in vitro.
Yep,
Yep. And she wanted
IVF.
to get pregnant and have a baby on her own. And I remember she was like struggling with that.
Yeah, and then there was another episode where Estelle Getty, Sophia's friend, she was like really sick, really old, and she's like, I want to do assisted
Yes.
suicide. And I'll never forget. I
remember
was
that
like, because
episode.
you're right. It's like, maybe like 1 a.m. You got home from the bar. I'm, laying in my,
You just
dorm
wanted
bed.
cheesecake.
Yeah, I'm like, let's turn on the Golden Girls, and I'm watching Sophia count out the pills with her
Yes.
best friend as she's trying to commit, assisted suicide. And I'm like, I am not emotionally prepared for this.
And
Like,
that must have been a big deal for like NBC.
oh my god, I can't imagine the number of sponsors who probably wanted to pull out.
Right. To be such a huge comedy, they really touched on a lot of serious and sensitive issues.
Yeah.
I think those are the shows that like stand their ground and like they stick around.
Yeah.
But a little more happy note than assisted suicide. I did. I don't even know why. I think because all of our devices are listening to us. But on Facebook today, there's an ad for a Golden Girls themed Airbnb that you can stay at.
It's
there's
Rue,
Golden-
it's Rue McClanahan's old
Oh,
property,
old, yeah.
like the house or
There's
something.
Golden Girls themed parties now. Like people have been posting this on Facebook and like showing like there's themes. They got the
Can we
plates
have
and
one?
everything.
Why haven't we had one yet?
I don't know. My birthday is next Sunday. Just
Oh.
saying.
There's not enough time. I need a lot of time for some drapes and fabric
Yeah.
and shoulder pads.
Well, no, we'll just have it out in the lanai.
Right.
I can wear my caftan.
Did anyone know what a lanai was before
No.
they were like, let's go have,
I'm sure my husband did.
I still don't know what it is, but I'm gonna every time I go into an open area. This is the lanai.
Oh, 100%. I think I call most outside drinking places a lanai. Just assume that's where we go to drink. But yeah, so I love the Golden Girls so much. And I'm just so excited that they're still so present for the new generation and the old generation. I love it so much. But yeah, so, and they also had, several characters who were, maybe straight acting and portrayed gay or not.
Or in the closet, portraying a straight man. Yeah.
100%. And so for our next topic, I'm going to turn it over to CJ, who's going to fill us in a little more on that.
Since I seem to be the gay culture person here, always talking about gays and culture and pop everything. This week, I wanted to talk about straight actors in gay roles. So I've got a little list here, and we won't go through all of them because, as I found out, there are a lot of straight actors who have played gay roles, like huge gay roles, as a matter of fact. So I picked some of the top ones. The first one was Tom Hanks in Philadelphia.
Oh, great movie.
Fantastic.
Never saw it. I feel like I need to. I know.
God.
Worst gay ever. I'll put it
Get
on
a
the list.
cheesecake and a box of Kleenex.
So that was in 1993, and he actually won the Oscar for that role.
I knew he won the Oscar.
So if you don't know anything about it, he plays Andrew Beckett, who was a lawyer who was fired for having HIV/AIDS. And so the whole thing is about him trying to basically say, well, I was fired wrong. And it's just, it was such a powerful movie for the time because AIDS was huge. It was a huge issue then. It was really, people still didn't have the answers about it, and there was still so many.
Is this when everyone started wearing the red ribbons to the Oscar ceremonies?
It's probably about that time. But another one.
I feel like that's how I found out about AIDS. I mean, again, I was like 8 years old in 1993,
But he won the Oscar for that. I can't remember if there were ever any times in the movie where he either kissed another man or they showed a love scene.
I think him and Antonio Banderas kissed.
Did they?
I
Okay.
believe so.
Well, that's the very same year, Will Smith was in a movie which I've never watched.
6 Degrees of Separation.
6 Degrees of Separation.
Denzel told him not to do that movie because they said it would kill his career.
Yeah. So Denzel Washington was like, don't do this. It'll kill your career 100%.
Stockard Channing, Donald
Stockard
Sutherland was in
Channing,
it.
others, with Stockard Channing.
Rizzo.
Right. Stockard won awards for that movie. Will Smith,
Because Will Smith had to, he physically had to kiss a guy in the movie and, get naked. There was, this strip scene.
It's based on a true story that I found out.
Mm-hmm.
So Will Smith plays a gay con artist who goes around to all these elite, rich people in the East Side, New York, and he pretends to know people that they know. And so they let him into this house, and they're feeding him and giving him all this stuff. And then they catch him in bed with a hustler, basically, and then
In
they
their
kick him
apartment.
out. And then,
Full frontal male nudity
Yeah.
in that movie, too.
but what?
Sign me up.
So Denzel advised against it. But Wesley Snipes said, come on, man, it's called acting, stupid, and really just took offense of it. And that leads me to the next movie. In 1995, we have Tu Wong Fu. Thanks for everything, Julie Newmar.
Such a good movie.
Which obviously Wesley Snipes was in.
Please tell me you've seen this movie.
No,
I can't even
I am
you.
the worst.
Give me your gay card.
Josh, you cannot be in the gayest podcast ever. If you've
Oh,
not seen
I'll
it.
work on this. I'll work
You better
on
live
this.
yourself a little weekend and go get you some movies.
Which obviously Wesley Snipes was in. The late and great Patrick Swayze was in it, and then John
Leguizamo.
Yeah, thank God for saying his name because I can never say his
Yeah,
name.
no, I like him.
Swayze and John actually got both nominated for Golden Globes for that.
It's a Golden Globe.
It's another Stockard Channing movie. She's
Another
in that
Stockard
as well.
Channing. Yeah, I talk on somebody else who's all about the gays.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, come on. And then I jump ahead a little bit here because she was so fantastic in it, and she deserved all the awards, was Charlize Theron in Monster, which is 2003. She did win the Oscar.
She was so hard to look at in that movie, though.
Just
there
incredible
was a-
transformation.
Have you seen Eileen or whatever?
No.
Warnos? Eileen Warnos?
No, the actual person.
I was like, I might have to Google that,
Yeah.
but no.
Well, for how gorgeous Charlize
Right.
is, she's on my list of females that, yeah.
she could maybe turn you.
Yes,
Right.
100%.
And so then I skip ahead to, well, actually, I jump back a little bit to, no, that was 2003. Same year. I can't believe it's the same year. Brokeback Mountain with Heath Ledger and Jake Gyllenhaal, which I felt, for me, changed everything with Hollywood.
God
And
bless Ang Lee.
Yes. Straight men playing gay roles. I mean, could you imagine if someone went to Jake Gyllenhaal's like, man, don't do the love scene. Don't do it. It'll ruin your career. Mm-hmm. I mean, talk about a love scene.
That was a thing
I don't
for
know if
Eric.
I consider it a love scene. It
Well-
felt very.
Eric McCormack caught a lot of slack in the beginning of his with Will and Grace because
Yeah.
he was playing a gay character, and they were like, "This is going to destroy your career." And it turned out to be one of the biggest hits ever on television, and then they
wonder
brought
when
it back.
I wonder when it flipped, because then you have people that are like, I really got to do this transformation acting role
Right.
in order to get a nomination or an award. Because I feel like I feel like at some point it became like, I got to do something that's completely the opposite of me in order to say that I've completely transformed into this
Yeah.
role.
Isn't that what acting is, though?
100%.
It's called acting, stupid. Thank you, Wesley. But no, I mean, that was 10 years between this Will Smith movie where he was told not to because it'll ruin your career, and then with Jake Gyllenhaal and Heath Ledger. And I forgot to look, but did they win the awards? The whole movie.
Heath Ledger won for Batman.
Yeah.
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 And
When he
Jake's
played for the
not
Joker.
won
I don't
the
think Jake
whole-
was.
But
yeah.
it was best screenplay and all of that.
I want to say maybe the director.
They were all. A lot of them were nominated.
No,
like
for
Michelle
sure nominated.
Michelle Williams
Michelle
was
Williams,
nominated. Yeah.
Anne Hathaway.
I think
Yeah.
Ang Lee won for best director.
I want to
wanna
say
that
the
that
director. I
happened,
want to say
yeah.
Ang Lee won because it was a big deal too because he was Asian and
Oh, yeah, no.
representation.
And definitely Jake Gyllenhaal stars gone up since then. Unfortunately, we lost Heath, who had an amazing performance as the Joker
Oh, he was so good in that.
and Batman. So, I mean, obviously, playing a gay role does nothing for you, or nothing against your career, I should say.
Yeah, I agree with that.
No, I think if anything, it brings a whole new, all the gays love you now. So you're increasing your fan base.
Well, yeah. Well, and especially because, like, I feel like a lot more roles that I've seen in the last, like, 10 years, like I think, like, Julianne Moore did one.
Right. The Hours? Was that or
No,
no,
The
the
Hours
children, something,
There was the one with Julianne Moore where she was, like, a 1950s housewives, and I think her husband might have been gay.
what was that movie called?
I don't know.
She was in the movie with Annette Bening where she was a
Oh,
lesbian.
the kids
and
are all right.
the
And Mark
kids are
Ruffalo.
all
That's what
right.
I'm thinking
Yeah.
of. That's what I'm thinking of.
I was like, I have no idea.
Yeah,
what
sorry.
movie
And she's
you're
a
talking
lesbian.
about.
That's the one I'm thinking. The kids are all
Yeah.
right. And then also Kate Blanchett did Carol.
Carol.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big one
And
that just came
so
out.
like, I get it. Like, and again, it's acting. You're making these transitive roles, and I think Kate Blanchett was one that said, actually, like, I'm just gonna keep taking roles that push me to play characters that I've never done before, I don't know, or something like that. So I think, CJ, like, are we talking about, like, are people upset that straight people are playing LGBTQ roles, or are we upset that LGBTQ roles aren't being played by LGBTQ people?
Yeah, and I think that's where I wanted to close out, because now that we have all these main hardcore A-list celebrity stars now that are willing to go out and play these gay characters, you have someone like Darren Criss, who we all know from Glee as a gay character, and then he was in American Crime Story as another gay character, which he won the Emmy for.
Yeah.
And soon after that, he said,
And he is straight.
Yeah, he was a straight man who he later came out and said, you know what, I'm no longer going to play gay roles because I feel like I'm taking it away from gay actors. Sort of on the lines of the Hollywood whitewashing thing, I guess, similar.
Yeah, and like it's hard too because like if you're a great actor, like I don't want to take roles away from great actors, and like so this is the other thing is like should your sexual orientation be
Exactly.
like when you're filling out a resume, like should your sexual orientation include or not include you in this pool of candidates?
Well, and then here's the thing too. I think it should always really go for the best person who can do it.
I agree.
However, there is a big difference in a straight male playing a gay character versus a white person playing an Asian character. And I think that's where all the slack came from with Scarlett Johansson, Emma Stone.
Yeah, Emma Stone's later apologized.
Right.
Was like, sorry, I should like
Live at the Oscars.
when she won her Oscar for playing, the non. She's like, no, I shouldn't have done that. Like, sorry.
And then there was another role coming out. I think the movie was nixed all around, but I think it was also Scarlett Johansson.
Yeah.
It was a trans person
I
who
did
was
hear
like
about that.
Pulled out.
a mob boss or something.
Yeah,
and
Scar
she
just got some questionable.
Yeah, just the media went after
Yeah.
her.
Well, and like, I think it's harder. Well, and this is really the hard thing too. And I don't know if you guys have heard, like, and I don't want to go too far off the topic, but Kirsten Dunst recently got her Hollywood star on the Walk of Fame, and they referred to her as Spider-Man's girlfriend as her main role. And it's like the girl's been acting since she's been like
said
6.
that nobody remembered her after Bring It On. She's just the Bring It On girl.
Well, no, and even like the Associated Press or whoever said like Kirsten Dunst, who received her Hawk, known for playing Spider-Man's girlfriend. They didn't even call her Mary Jane Watson.
Does everyone
Ridiculous.
forget that she was in a movie with Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise? I mean,
Oh,
Interview with a
Interview with a Vampire.
Alert.
Even more than that, all her Fargo, she was nominated for Emmys for her role as in Fargo, the TV show. But like, so at the end of the day, so there's a new thing on either Twitter, on the socials, where they're like, like where it's funny. My favorite one was like, Amy Adams could play the Godfather, but El Pacino could not play Giselle in Enchanted, and I think that's what it is. There
Right.
there are so many roles where you can go one way, but you can't go the other. And I feel like, and I think where we get lost and kind of confused is like, yeah, like you could be.
So gender swapping's okay.
Yeah.
So Ghostbusters, example.
I love the new Ghostbusters.
I-
I'll probably get read for that. I really
I've
enjoyed
never
it.
seen
It made me
it.
laugh out loud.
I think
cute.
I've watched bits and pieces. Just
I love the
because
original Ghostbusters. I also love the new one. I think they can both exist in a world.
I only watched the new one because of Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, we'll get to that later.
Right. But anyways, that was my thoughts on straight actors and gay roles and whether or not we found it acceptable, which I think go for it. Just get shirtless or naked in the movie, and you've got my vote.
Yeah. I think we're having the discussion, the dialogue, which is the most important thing
Right.
ever. And that
Agreed.
we're saying that, people who are LGBTQ should be able to tell their stories, and at the exact same time,
Like how Wentworth Miller went to Russia and just kind of announced that he was gay when that whole Russia thing was going on, that the gays in the Olympics.
Who would go to Russia and say they are gay?
Do you remember Wentworth Miller?
He's the Prison Break guy, right?
Yeah, and like pretty much that's how everyone found out he was gay. Like he made a stance against like Russia. And
Oh, when Russia was really coming, I was
Yeah.
like, but he wasn't in Russia.
no.
Oh, I was like, I thought you literally said he went to Russia.
Your boy Gus
and said,
was,
I am
though.
gay, and I was like, yeah, Gus.
Yeah.
God bless Gus. Keep him safe. Adam Rippon. I was worried for a lot of our athletes during that.
Right.
But yeah, so speaking of people who hate Putin in Russia, I think that's a great segue for our next topic, which Eric's going to be talking to us all about,
So I
the
know you
Queen
guys
of
are
Pop.
usually like, oh, the Queen of Pop. I thought that was Britney. No, okay.
She's the princess.
Oh, sorry.
Always and forever.
No, I know you guys are more like the music guys, but I was just thinking about how many like hits that Madonna has had over the course of her career, and she's always been very friendly of our community and supportive, and she's never taken criticism for her videos or anything. She just does what she wants, and then I just like started going all over her number one hits, and it's just crazy how many number one hits that she has had. Like a Virgin, 1984 is her number one song, number one hit.
84.
Like a Virgin did not come out in 84.
I
There's no way like
Yes.
sorry. I'm thinking of like a
I
prayer.
was like,
I'm thinking of like a prayer.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
No, see, there's way too many hits.
Sorry. You're right. There's too many.
Vogue number 2, 1990, Crazy for You, 1985, Justify My Love, 91, Like a Prayer, 1989, Papa Don't Preach, 1986. One of my favorites, was from the movie that Madonna also starred in, A League of Their Own. This Used to Be My Playground,
Love it.
1992. Love that song. So many. Holiday, Ray of Light, Erotica, Cherish, Express Yourself. Like, she's just had a fantastic career. And I believe we talked about how Leon from The Housewives, Cynthia Bailey's baby daddy, was the guy in her video.
Sometimes when you say Housewives, I go Desperate Housewives, like the TV
Sweetie,
show
no.
on Mark Cherry. I don't watch the Bravo one, so
We'll get you there.
well, just
But anyways, what's your favorite Madonna song?
I have a list, but no.
You have a list?
Well, because I love that you said This Used to Be My Playground, because I don't feel that one gets a lot of love, and I love me some Madonna ballads.
Right.
Absolutely.
All of mine are the Madonna ballads.
It's a good, like, sit in the bathtub, cry with a glass of wine song.
Well, and like I feel like my mom really liked Madonna, so I was exposed to a lot of Madonna growing up, and I remember her like buying like that like League of Their Own soundtrack, because there was that song and the Carole King one, and it was all really good. But I love that one, and I'm also a really big fan of the Frozen. Oh my god,
The Frozen.
Yes,
Frozen?
I remember
that music, like when she like did the whole. That was a terrible sound. I'm sorry that I said that.
I think it was like E or one of those Access
off
Hollywood.
It was off the Ray of Light album. So her whole like very dance.
but they
Frozen,
debuted it
Oh, is
after.
it like the music album? Like that?
No,
No,
before.
no.
Ray of Light's like 97, Music's 2000. The Ray of Light album had Ray of Light, clearly, and it had Frozen. It was like and I'll give my heart to you. Like
You don't, the video she's
It
in
was
the
all her
desert
Kabbalah
with
years.
all the black.
No, like literally, my husband asked me before he left it. He's like, "Is Frozen like from the movie Frozen?" And I'm like, "No, I don't think
oh my
so."
gosh, no, it was like 2 decades before. No, it's super. Oh, we're gonna have to watch. And the music video is so good.
Oh,
She's
with
like
the-
in the desert
the
and the
crows,
crows.
yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh, we'll watch that one
Clearly,
later.
I missed an episode of Papa Video.
And then my other one that I just absolutely is like the whole like Take a Bow. Like take a
You really do
bow.
like your ballads,
The
don't you?
night
Yeah.
is over.
He's literally going home to listen to this whole album.
Oh,
later.
I made a playlist the second you told me we were doing a Madonna. It's all I've been listening to, and I'm sure the girl who I share a cube with absolutely hates me because all we've heard for the last like 2 days is Madonna.
I love the one song she did for the Gap commercial, the "Dress You Up in
Dress
My Love,"
You
when
Up
they
in
used
My
like that is
Love.
one of my favorite Madonna songs. It's
That was a perfect song for
Oh, yeah,
that
absolutely.
commercial too.
Nailed it.
But for me, I think definitely old school. It was going to be Vogue, Express Yourself. I remember, I forget which tour it is, and I know my husband's cringing right now because he
A Blonde Ambition?
Probably that one. It was the one where she had the cones and everything. She, but I remember it was on HBO, and I was in kindergarten. I had to be, if not just barely a little older. And my parents were in the living room watching TV, and I was specifically told, do not turn it on HBO because Madonna is having her concert and you're too young to watch it.
That hussy.
So what happens? I immediately go to my room, I lock the door, I turn it on, and I'm loving it. Like I
He
felt
got-
And
like
then he was gay.
that's how it happened. That's
He
how I
got two
came
of
out.
his birthday cone party hats from his birthday party that year and made himself a little bustier.
But I took all of my animated cartoon tapes, the 30-minute like Daffy Duck tapes and everything, probably even my birthdays. And,
And just started
and I
recording?
just recorded them all. And I put tape over the ones that had the little hole notched out so you couldn't record over it. Well, I was smart enough then, put a piece of tape over that, and it allows you to record. So I don't know what I got for my 3rd birthday, but Madonna was rocking it out on stage on HBO special.
Well, she's just a classic. I remember the video I sent when she opened the VMAs a couple weeks ago with Britney and Christina. Like, she's just the queen. I mean, like, some of her music, yes. Like, the later music, I'm not such a big fan of.
Agreed.
It's kind of like when I probably am going to get slapped for saying this by some people, but Evita, like, just not one of my favorites. I did not like the music. in
I will
it.
be the one that slaps you. She won an award for that.
A Golden Globe.
A Golden Globe pregnant, though her boobs
Oh.
were huge.
I'll always remember her Golden Globes.
Her
the two
Golden
of them.
Globes,
And I
yeah.
I'm motioning to my man chest right now
Yeah.
with her 2 Golden Globes that she had that night. Yeah, it was right after. What was the name of her daughter?
Lourdes, and then Rocco, and then
With Guy Ritchie.
David and
Guy
Mary. Yeah,
Ritchie.
she's got a couple
Oh yeah,
of
and
them now.
then she got adopted.
Yeah, she's
Or
got a
she started
couple kids.
adopting.
So her newer music, though, it's
Same.
a hard sell. I'm not really a fan. Probably the last album that I either really loved and bought was Hard Candy.
Oh.
Confessions, maybe. I
So I
liked.
didn't mind that, like right when she did the Super Bowl and she had that MDN Madonna
hated it.
with Nicki
Yeah,
Minaj.
No,
Oh,
I hated it.
And then she had another song on that album called "Turn Up the Radio," which was a #1 hit on the dance charts, and I love that one. Turn up the radio.
I think, yeah, late 80s, early 90s is my
Agreed.
favorite Madonna.
Agreed. I will
Nothing
give you
will
that.
ever like that.
Yeah.
That
I
was my peak for her.
Even like songs that like I was like, oh, I knew it's a Madonna song, and I knew it, like "Cherish" was one that I never thought was one of my favorites. And over the last couple days, when I came, I was like, no, I really like this one. Like, you know,
How do I feel about Holiday? I love
Holiday.
I think Like a Prayer will always be my all-time favorite song.
In the
though. Like,
video?
anytime, yeah.
Oh my God.
Anytime
Love the
it's
video.
on, turn it
That-
up, windows down.
and like good for her. Like she's so iconic as a blonde, but one of her most iconic videos is her as a brunette.
Oh, yeah.
How awesome is
Well,
that?
then she lit that cross on fire and everything was...
I mean, controversial video.
But you know what?
It drew
I'm-
attention to it.
Exactly.
She got the attention she wanted.
I was really thinking because she's another one that goes through these phases, right? She goes like through these different transition. Like she had like kind of that pop girl in the '80s, and then she went for that real like matador Spanish look for a while. Then she went like the EDM kind of electronic dance music. But like if you think about like what people like Lady Gaga and Taylor Swift do now, exact same thing.
Yeah.
Every album has a look,
She
has a
laid the
vibe,
groundwork.
has a feel. Like we would not have those without Madonna.
It's all about reinventing.
Yes.
yourself.
And if she wasn't that controversial, she never would have been that famous.
No.
Like, by having all this controversy, people were talking about her and watching this stuff. And then, like you said, like you weren't allowed to watch it. But when your parents tell you that or something, you just want to do it more.
Watch it more.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Well, and I did look because I'm obsessed with all things Billboard and everything like that. I did look.
No.
Oh, actually, well, another thing is the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America. Did you know that she is the second highest female all-time solo female of selling like records and everything like that?
Who's number one?
Barbara Streisand.
Oh,
But-
I'll say Cher.
Cher's not even in the top 10.
Well, I kind of get that.
Well, and the part of the problem too is Cher sold a lot of records as Sonny and Cher.
Right.
True that.
So just like Stevie Nicks isn't in the top 10, but because a lot of her shit was Fleetwood Mac. Do you want to know who the other 10 are? The 10's really good.
I kind of do.
Okay, so it's Barbara Streisand, Madonna, Mariah,
Yes.
Whitney,
Of
Duh.
course.
Celine Dion.
Okay.
I'm surprised
And it was
Celine's
super-
not higher. Well, no. Mariah's
That's
there.
because Whitney was higher.
Mariah Whitney.
Literally.
Mariah's got more years on Whitney. But no, I was funny as I was writing these down. I was like, oh, all these women go. We refer to them by one name. I go, that's how fucking successful they
Right.
are. That's how you know you made it. When I'm just like, Celine, Mariah, Whitney, you know who you're talking about. All right,
Britney.
so Whitney, Celine, Shania Twain,
Shania.
Shania, yep.
Taylor Swift,
Taylor's taken over, though.
and she's the furthest artist, male, female group of anything, in the 2000s.
Okay.
She's like bringing the numbers in for the next generation. Reba,
Reba, really? Okay.
then Britney,
Okay.
then Linda Ronstadt.
Thank God Britney's in
Kind
there.
of fizzles out there down at the end.
Britney's outsold Adele. Adele was number 11.
Adele only has 2 albums. 3 albums.
Well, good for her for doing
Right.
it in 3 albums.
Right.
Like, how many does the other artists have? And they're like just trying to catch
I
up.
am completely shocked by Reba.
Reba.
Yeah, I
I'm-
did not expect Reba to be on there. That was
did?
a little no.
Really?
Maybe,
Steve's
like,
favorite clown.
Her
Reba.
daughter-in-law. Oh my god.
Her daughter-in-law, Kelly Clarkson.
Yeah.
See, it's harder too because in the more digital age, you don't sell records, you sell singles.
True.
Right.
And that's why it's crazy that Taylor Swift's in the mix because in the digital age, she's selling albums.
Well, Taylor, as a crossover artist, I think really helped because she has her country fans, she has her more pop fans, so she's got a lot more listeners. That's why I'm just so shocked about Reba. I mean, is Reba that mainstream?
I mean, the other thing is Reba's been around since 1980 something.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time.
Why am I so obsessed with Reba? I don't
I love. Hey, I'm good. For
I think
you,
she's your
Reba.
favorite clown.
Yeah, gingers are doing it for themselves.
I did love her TV show though.
Oh, well, who didn't?
See, I didn't.
It was like the highest rated show on the WB
I
or
liked,
something.
I liked that one guy.
Oh, the guy, the son-in-law.
Man.
Fan, he's on Shameless. Steve Howie. Yes.
Talk about a
and
hottie
wasn't
now.
The daughter's like best friends with like Leah Michelle, who I follow a lot on Instagram. So like these two.
Oh, Joanna Garcia.
Yeah, Swisher.
Swisher.
Joanna
yeah.
Garcia Swisher. She's
But
married to
like
Nick
fun
Swisher.
fact about Steve Howie, he did a full frontal nude scene
Oh,
on
I know,
Shameless.
I know.
and he could back it up.
Yes.
I watched Shameless for not a lot of reasons.
It was like
that.
it was like the second and third episode. I was like, okay, I can watch the show.
He played a very small role, but a gay character in the movie Game Over with Adam Devine from, is that his name, from Pitch Perfect?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on Netflix.
Is that a
Watch
Netflix
it.
movie?
Yeah, he plays a security guard or an assassin or something, and he's in a hotel room with the other assassin, and they realize they're alone, and they just rip off their clothes and go at it.
Perfect.
So there's
I
my
will
plug for that.
We're adding to the queue when I get home tonight. But speaking of people that we wish would do full frontal nudity, let's talk about our favorite part of the podcast, our little game that we like to play at the end. And this week we're going to be doing another Fuck, Marry, Kill. And so Eric went first the first week. I went first the second week. So CJ, we're going to make you
the
go first.
Pressure. Okay.
So I should explain. This week we're doing the Chris's, but we're doing the Chris's of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
I'm curious. I feel like
So-
we're all going to be different.
I have a feeling we're all going to be different too. So it's Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, Chris Evans, aka Captain America, and Chris Pratt, aka Star-Lord. All right, CJ.
I wish I'd given a little bit of thought of this beforehand, but I didn't realize I was going first. First of all, they're so hard to choose from.
It was really hard.
They're all
They're so hard or
different.
yours are hard.
Ah!
Stop looking at my crotch. No, so I am going to marry Chris Evans because he's a good old boy, homegrown American, just beautiful. He's going to outlive me, though, so that's going to be an issue. I'm going to... Oh, God, this is so difficult. I'm going to fuck Thor, just because he's a god. And I guess
And he
I'm-
can really lay
That
down that
means
hammer.
you're killing Chris Pratt.
Yes, I'm
That's just
killing Chris
science.
Pratt.
That's how it works.
Oh, yep. That's your only option left.
That's my only option.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, Chris Pratt. I love you.
If it makes you feel better, are you gonna? I'll let you. Are you gonna kill like Star-Lord? Or are you gonna kill like Andy Dwyer?
He's killing Chris Pratt. That's what's happening.
I was trying to help.
I would kill Star-Lord.
Okay.
Me next?
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I know why I would kill Chris Pratt.
Yeah. Oh, Anna Faris.
Yeah, he
Because
divorced
he
Anna Faris.
divorced Anna Faris, and he's still involved with a church.
Yeah, the church thing was
Yeah.
huge.
Yeah, so
Yep.
that's why. You're dead to me.
Oh, I feel like, okay. So I would marry Chris Pratt because I just think he is beautiful.
Homophobe.
And I
I
just
hope you enjoy Sunday mornings at church while we're at brunch.
Well, I'll be back. That's his father-in-law. No, I think,
Chris Pratt is married to Katherine Schwarzenegger. That's
yeah,
right.
he's just. I just like him. He makes me laugh. I think he's funny. He's done a couple like little independent movies, like 10 Years and stuff like that with Channing Tatum that I think is a good movie. Like, I just like him. I like his career. Yes, now that he's mixed up with the Schwarzeneggers, whatever. But I mean, technically, he's now a Kennedy.
Oh, and we all know Eric wants to
And
be a
I
Kennedy.
want to be part of Camelot.
All right, so
I
you're married.
would fuck Chris Hemsworth because just look at the man. And I'm sorry, Captain America, but I have no interest whatsoever.
All right.
I would kill him.
we're gonna let Eric say that, and we're gonna tune back in like a few episodes once Eric's actually watched a Marvel
Right.
movie.
I don't have 72 hours to watch like all of these movies.
Well, all right, then I
I
haven't.
said there's like 13. No.
There's like 30.
There's no way that
There's
I'm
a
going to have
lot.
time
There's
to watch
way
that.
more than 13.
You're on vacation next week. Guess
Yes.
what you're doing?
Oh, yep.
And that's not how I'm spending it.
I hope it rains. All right, so mine. This actually was really easy for me. So I'm fucking Thor. It's Chris Hemsworth.
Okay, so we all agree on that one.
He's six-
With or without the hammer?
Oh, it's with or without the hair is my kind of
Oh.
deal breaker. But
Same.
it's just
He's
one
got that Brad
time.
Pitt hair. It's like really good.
But and you guys, I'm such the worst. This is gonna be the worst man shaming thing I've ever done in my entire life. I can literally tell you what their chest, waist, and biceps are in inches.
It's a lot of research.
Oh yeah. All right.
Just
so
by looking at them, he doesn't even
So
have
wait a
to
minute. So
research it.
finish. Who are you?
so I'm fucking Chris Hemsworth. I'm fucking Thor.
Okay.
I'm killing Chris Pratt.
So
Sorry,
you and
Star-Lord.
CJ are the same.
And I'm marrying.
What is
America's
this?
ass.
Oh, we're
Like
the same.
uniform?
Yeah, we're exactly the same.
That really is American's ass.
It's America's
my
ass.
Lord.
Oh, you should see all the reasons I have for marrying Chris Evans. I have America's ass is number one, and then I put the boxing gif. Because if you've not seen the Chris Evans boxing gif where his butt moves, Google that right now. Fantastic Four, when he burned up his snow parka suit.
Yes.
That's when I think I was gay.
You guys are
The whipped
really
cream,
into superheroes.
the whipped cream scene in another
Not a
teen
teen
movie
movie.
also made me gay.
Oh, that was a good one. Yeah.
Oh, listen to this. In 2012, he said, "Are you kidding me? It's insane that civil rights are being denied people in this day and age. It's embarrassing and it's heartbreaking. It goes without saying that I'm completely in support of gay marriage. In 10 years, we'll be ashamed this is an issue."
And he has a gay brother
So he's clearly,
who looks not exactly like him, but close
Yeah.
enough.
All right, and if you've not seen his biceps, so Chris Hemsworth biceps come in at 16 inches. Chris Pratt's come in at 16 inches. Chris Evans at 17.
Yeah, but Chris Pratt,
Really?
Chris Pratt looks good,
inch-
skinny, and in a
that
dad
other
bod.
inch means everything.
Size queen.
You gotta have a dad bod look too. I like Chris Pratt because he looks good in a dad
Chris
bod.
Hemsworth does have the biggest chest at 48 inches. Both Chris Pratt and Chris Evans were at 46.
Oh my Lord, Josh, I cannot.
I also have their zodiac signs if you want to know if you're compatible with
Are
them.
any of them a Virgo?
There is no Virgos.
No. Oh,
No.
what are they?
Chris Hemsworth is a Leo. He just had a birthday.
Okay.
And the other two are both Geminis, which normally
Geminis are like the worst.
I know. I was like,
aren't they?
normally I don't get down with Geminis. You never know who you're gonna get.
Yeah, no. I don't know about that.
I know. But
All right, well, good one, guys. Good
yeah,
one.
that was a good one. All right. Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to the Gayest Podcast Ever. Please rate, review, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can also find us on Spotify, Slacker, and if you check out any of our socials on Facebook, Gayest Podcast Ever, Instagram, Gayest Podcast Ever, and Twitter, Gayest Podcast, you can find a link to all of our websites and everything like that. Please like, follow, whatever it takes. Love you so much. Have a good one. We'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.
Woo-hoo!